It's the third and only remaining Toyota out of this massive effort. Has been taken not into the pits but straight into the box. Car put up on jacks and is being very carefully looked at. Yes, there is frontal impact damage there on the Montero brothers 911. They must have hit someone, and we take it that they must have hit the Boutsen Toyota. Andre de Cortance there and Ove Anderson, the two men responsible for running the entire Toyota project, have been having a very careful look at the back end of the Japanese-driven car. Now, they have clearly got some secrets which they don't wish the world's press to know about. The Toyota team are dealing with a very difficult situation here. They want to know that after Brundle's accident and now Boutsen's accident, there is nothing inherently wrong with the third car driven by Tsuchiya Suzuki and Ukio Katayama. So we have the very unusual sight at Le Mans of quite a long spell already of yellow flag running with the safety car. You see there at the front of this snaking cavalcade of headlights. And so with the order as a result of that accident to the second Toyota now is a BMW 1-2, followed by the first of the open Audis. A really tremendous result for them to this point. Very impressive indeed. Andre de Cortance there explaining to one of the engineers what he thinks happened in that incident between Montero and Boutsen, and we will bring you news of Thierry's condition as we hear it. We understand he's complaining of pains in his lower back and wished to be extracted very carefully. That was the beginning of the reason for the long yellow, and we are now hearing that there is oil on the Mulsanne Straight, an extensive amount of oil on the Mulsanne Straight, which needs to be dealt with because the cars are just going too fast. Now we have got back to green and the race is on once more. So just after 12 hours of running, there has been a lot of action already. All the Mercedes out, the last Mercedes withdrawn after the horrific accident to Peter Dumbreck, and the fans watch on through the night, a little bleary-eyed maybe, but the drivers have got to keep fit and ready, except for those who only have a sad tale to tell. The little Porsche in the baby class going remorselessly on its way, and this still the class of the GTS field. Olivier Beretta out after another stint. Karl Wendlinger back in again. Wendlinger, of course, retired from Grand Prix racing some 3 years ago after his terrible accident at Monaco had meant that a comeback to the very top level of the sport was simply not practicable. So, a German 1-2-3, and here is the surprise of the race so far. A complete disc change on the Audi. Emanuele Pirro has been driving extremely well, sharing with saloon car star Frank Biela and Didier Taze. The sole remaining Toyota thunders on past the pits up towards the Dunlop Bridge, and it's getting lighter as we move towards a proper dawn here in France. Still time for headlights. The 67th running of the Le Mans 24-hour Grand Prix of Endurance. And as two of the major manufacturers have already discovered, it really is of endurance. Spirits a little low in the Toyota camp now, and spirits even lower in the Nissan camp. These cars have not had the testing. Oops. Oh, the Paynos taking a very aggressive line with the second place car there and actually punting him out of the way. But no harm done, and they both managed to carry safely on. And this is Michele Alboreto. He's just been pulling away from a pit stop. You see he's still got his visor up, lights off. There's a problem, and he is on the radio saying, come on boys, what do I do? Well, I'm not sure they're allowed to do that. In fact, I'm reasonably certain they're not allowed to do that. They've come right outside their designated box to push Alboreto back in. But anyway, there's clearly some problem which they think they can fix straight away. It looks problematical. Eric Bernard at the wheel of the dramatic open Paynos. Well, it's not just a minor problem. This is, we are going to change the gearbox on the Audi there. And here the famous Dayglow green helmet of Henri Pescarolo. Number 14, running his 33rd Le Mans. Henri Pescarolo has won nearly 50% of all the races ever held at Le Mans, a remarkable record. A winner, of course, in the late 60s and early 70s. Pescarolo still determined to bring on the younger French drivers, such as Patrice Gay, the Formula 3 star, who is sharing that courage with him. Henri himself now 56 years old. The Chrysler Oreca Vipers, just an efficient machine under the guidance of Hugues de Chaunac. This team, and look at those positions in the GTS class. Vipers 1st to 6th. How that must make hearts glad back in the United States. When the Vipers first came, the 8-litre V10 car first came to Le Mans a few years ago, they were treated as something of an eccentric joke. But for Porsche now to have lost all their position in the class that has traditionally been theirs, but there is a preparation problem, because that is a wheel nut coming off the lease plan spot. Oh my goodness me, that is a brand new tyre. You can still see the sticker on the tyre. That means that car has not even worn away the paper sticker on the tyre, just out of the pits. And somebody, hang your head in shame, because there goes the wheel nut. That is a problem. Emmanuel Clerico manages to keep the car at least out of the wall. And that's always a no, that's not going to work. He's trying to lift the huge, heavy Viper up all by himself. No, back on the radio. Plug yourself back into the radio and ask the pits what to do next. And that is what should have been the really fastest of the Porsches. And if I was you, I would get out, because that looks like one very hot Porsche. Meanwhile, Clerico, and you could see the amount of gravel and muck that's been thrown up onto the track by everybody's problems, is trying to struggle with that huge Viper all the way back to the pits. Yes, flags being waved in order to warn the faster cars that there is somebody moving very slowly indeed. He might yet make it back to the pits. That's the secret to keep going. So, behind the Toyota in 3rd place, the first of the Joest Audis. Then, fascinatingly, the private Thomas Bashir, Steve Soper driven, and Bill Oberlin as well. Private, that's the black 98 BMW, lying 5th, which is really a very good position, and that is the 2nd place BMW. And Joe Winkelhock, oh, known as Smoking Joe, and we see why he's called Smoking Joe, as the tyres are set light once more. But he was lucky there, because the gravel is very thick underneath the Dunlop Bridge, and he was very lucky to get away from that. And we've got another one of the Rook cars. We've just seen one stopped on one side of the track, and this car is on fire. Thank heavens the onboard extinguisher has gone off. This is the Lloyds of London insurance-sponsored car, shared by Hubert Haupt, the German professional, with Robinson and Price from England, and that car is comprehensively on fire. That has to be a blown turbo. That is traditionally what causes those Porsches to catch fire. We think everybody is safely out. Yes, they are. The marshal's still looking a little bit nervous, the number 63 car. And that is the amount of muck being pushed onto the track at this stage in the race is a problem for everybody. That was the 2nd of the Works Chrysler Vipers, as the leader tucks in underneath another back marker and sets off. Yes, they've managed to get the Rook Porsche now behind the barriers and out of the way. And he backed right off. He backed right off and was overtaken by the car he'd just been overtaking. That will not impress him very much. I don't think that was a mechanical problem. I think he was following instructions from the marshals. So, that is the lead car, and we think that is indeed JJ at the wheel, the car being shared with Christensen and Jörg Müller. And as the caption shows us, the Vipers are just all dominant. 51, 53, 52 is the team order in the... And that is JJ Leto in the wall at the Porsche curves, with the wall right up close. The Schnitzer mechanics are getting spare bodywork ready. They can't believe this has happened. The lead car, and I'm sorry to say, that looks as though JJ is in trouble. It looks as though his leg is hurt, is what the doctors are paying attention to. Now, how has that happened? Those are very difficult corners. Now he has a nearly 4-lap lead on his teammate, the number 15 car we're looking at here. No, thank heavens for that. After a race of so many dramas, all we needed was an injury to the great JJ. And this once more opens a small window of opportunity for the Toyota team. And Gerhard Berger here